What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Jericho Report weekly news briefing for Sunday, the 1st of September 2024. Welcome to September. Won't be long now. It's been a long, hot week in St. Louis. I've been outside most of the week working, so please forgive me if I'm a little not as fast as I usually am. Really tired, really exhausted. Got a full week of news to give you, though. As always, the first link below will take you over to the Patreon post. That's where you can find all the madness. Let's start off with COVID surge forces schools to close, bring back pandemic-era measures. This is happening down in Alabama and Tennessee. Put a link to the Daily Mail. Here we go. Students urged to top up vaccines before term time. Okay. WHO launches global monkeypox strategy, including strategic vaccinations. This is from Zero Hedge. Speaking of that, but completely unrelated, Netflix star 41 dies suddenly on beach. We got people dying. Uruguayan soccer player dies after collapsing on the game in Brazil. We got Mariah Carey's mother and sister die on the same day. No cause of death given in any of these. Put a link to that. We got this here. Let me click this out. We got 33 nurses died suddenly in the U.S. in the past week. I haven't verified all of these, but I did Google quite a few of these names, and it would appear that people are dying mysteriously. Nobody knows why. Other news going on. Multiple attendees at Democratic National Convention test positive for COVID-19. Well, surely they're vaccinated, so I don't know what the problem is. Put a link to that. Biden returns to Delaware after a week-long California vacation, then takes another vacation. Well, he's doing a great job. He should be going on vacation for the rest of his term. Trump indicted again on federal election interference case following Supreme Court immunity ruling. More of this crap going on. Meanwhile, Trump rally counter sniper gives damning verdict on evidence tampering by the FBI. I don't know what's going on there. One at the bottom, is there going to be a debate or not? I keep hearing this debate is on, it's off. Supposedly there's a debate coming up sometime in September, and I can't agree. Maybe they finally figured it out. Live microphones at debate, absolutely our preference, whatever. I'll put a link. Would be very entertaining seeing how Kamala is just as much of a pillowcase as Joe. Over to financial news, how U.S. stock indexes fared on the Friday. Let's scroll down and see what happened in the markets. On Friday, the Dow rose 228 points. For the week, it was up 388 points, 41,563 on the, do I hear 42,000? Put a link to the market recap data. The mother of all housing bubbles is the housing bubble about to burst. Discern report has interesting numbers. Proof of citizenship voting bill push could threaten another government shutdown. It's about time. We haven't talked about government shutdown in a while. Apparently later this month, the government's going to run out of money, and we're going to do the whole roll. Put a link to that. Labor Day travel. Oh, by the way, happy Labor Day weekend. I always forget to mention holidays when it's a holiday. I don't do holidays, so whatever. Labor Day travel thrown into chaos as United Airlines flight attendants vote to strike. Hell of a good timing. Dollar General crushed most of its record after management warns of financial... times are hard when the dollar store is in trouble. This from Zero Hedge. The Red Revolution Chicago to open state-run grocery stores. Wow, will they decide what you're going to eat and if it's non-GMO or not? Put a link to that from Zero Hedge. And will they allow people to just take food and walk out of the store without paying? Supreme Court refuses to revive Biden's student loan debt relief plan. Oh, Biden, that sucks. This was pretty funny. I saw this clip. I said, I got to get that for the report. Host embarrasses and laughs at Harris, campaign economic advisor, when he pathetically tries to sell her tax plan. Here's a little bit of this.
I think that this reaction to unrealized gains is a little funny, given that I bet that the majority of people watching right now are already paying a tax on unrealized gains. It's called a property tax. When the value of your home goes up,
that's an old tax.
When the value of your home...
They did just completely destroy him. This woman here, maybe you get a job where she works. Listen to her. This is her strategy.
I'm here with no red hat. We ain't making America great again because they ain't never been great. How did you happen to hire a team of all black women? I write my job descriptions such that they attract black women. I have an anti-racism policy.
Doesn't it sound like she has an
anti-racism policy? This is a black woman-owned company that centers the needs of black people.
But it's anti-racist. Okay then, California Senate passes zero down, zero payment home loans for illegal immigrants. I mentioned this before. Now it's official. How does that make you feel? A couple miscellaneous at the bottom. Ford loses $44,000 on every EV it sells as it switches back to hybrids, and we're going to put some gasoline back in the engine, I guess. And I got one at the bottom. Canada to hit China with tariffs on electric vehicles, aluminum, and steel. Over to New World Order and Police State News, and you talk about all of the culmination of shit that we've been talking about for 15 plus years coming together. You're watching society close down. You're watching information being shut down. We got this here. The Paris court reveals charges filed against the CEO of Telegram. They don't like what he's doing, so they filed charges against him. It wasn't he fled Russia because the government was trying to censor him. In the end, it wasn't Russia that locked him up. Put a link to that. The CEO of Rumble says, I'm a little late to this, but for good reason. He's just departed Europe They're trying to get him as well. And free speech is being shut down. In fact, listen to this. Over in the UK, do you know that you can now go to jail for retweets? Listen to what this guy's talking about.
The offence of incitement to racial hatred involves publishing or distributing material which is insulting or abusive.
Insulting or
Which
abusive.
is intended to or likely
You better not retweet
to
that.
start racial hatred. So if you retweet that, then you're republishing that, and then potentially you're committing that offence.
Yeah, you're committing that offense. Listen to this. Here's who they want to be the vice president of the United States next. Listen to this.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
There's no guarantee. Let me play it out one more time.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or
no guarantee to free speech on misinformation. Well, who decides what is misinformation? And who the fuck are you to tell us what we can and can't say? Go fuck yourself. AG, he warns you better not question the results of the election. That won't be tolerated.
I think our prosecutions have made clear what we think about people who try to interfere with the...
It goes on. I can't listen to it. I got other news here. Denver School District forces LGBT. Oh, you better not say anything about that. That'd be hate speech as well. Tool on students prohibits teachers from sharing gender identity with students' families. What? Breitbart says, look, we got more of this shit going on. Oklahoma students protest after being told they're not allowed to. The American flag is bad. You're an extremist. You can't have that on your car. More of this crap going on. Over 100 students without bus service in Massachusetts because funds are going to migrants. Put a link to that. We got a group of illegals out in California actually trying to hijack school buses. Put a link to that. They got the story on that. We got this here. Utter lack of transparency. Residents rage after all-male migrant shelter opened steps away from a school. What possibly could go wrong? And I got one at the bottom. Have you seen Colorado governor claims Aurora's migrant gang takeover is just immigration? You see these gangs taking over these apartment complexes in Aurora, Colorado? What the hell? And to think the American government wants to take your firearm away. Wonder where these guys got their firearms. Over to World War III news, Operation Blackjack, alert, and all that stuff. We're closer. Look, Israel launches preemptive strikes in Lebanon as Hezbollah fires back hundreds of rockets. Israel's killing thousands. Yet we're talking about some sort of ceasefire. Israel agrees to humanitarian pauses. And Gaza, check this, in order to vaccinate 640,000 children against polio. They're willing to stop to give out the... U.S. gives Zelensky free hand on strikes deep inside Russia. What? How's Russia feel about that? Ukraine might be gearing up for attack on Belarus' southeastern city. Put a link to that in Zero Hedge. Russia launches massive missile and drone attack on Ukraine. It's just all over the place. Electronic warfare systems on Ukraine's F-16s are getting specially tuned to Russian threats by the United States Air Force. So don't tell me we're not directly involved in this war. We got this here. Yesterday, I interviewed Sheriff Mack. He told me that according to his sources, of course, take all this with a grain of salt, October 7 is going to be a day of widespread terrorism across the... I don't know about that. What I do know is it's September now, and Operation Blackjack always predicted a June date for the attacks, but in Jericho, if you know your trivia, it was the September attacks. So is something going to happen, I guess he's saying, the first week in October? I don't know. But we have the southern border still open. ICE unable to track nearly 300K immigrant children, says DHS report. Put a link to just all of the, North Korea fires missile and demonstration for Russia. Had to get a little bit of Kim in here this week. Theodore Roosevelt strike group. I went looking for news on Iran. Couldn't find much, but we did rescue some Iranian mariners at sea. Thought that was all right. Afghanistan, new Taliban law. Women showing their faces, and you can't show your face or speak in public. When are women going to stand up and cut their men's dicks off? Did I just say that? It's frustrating to me. And Jesse Waters in damage control mode after sex slur about, apparently he said the U.S. generals are going to have their way with her. He's under hot water for that. I mean, why should women or any other any human being around the world be have to forced to live under, you got to cover up completely and you can't speak and all this? Stand up and take it back is what I say. Don't let anyone tell you what to do. Over to Earth Changes of 2012 news. I got the earthquake map set up for 6 points and above for the past week. So we had a 6-0 on the 30th, a 6-1 on the 28th, 6-2 on the 27th, 6-1 on the... Man, the Earth is rocking and rolling. 6-9 on the 25th. I'll put a link to the earthquake map. Typhoon barrels into Japan, triggering rare warnings. Be advised, typhoon on the other side of the world. Body of woman swept away in Grand Canyon. Flash flood is found. Apparently, big flash floods. I got some good video on that. Rest in peace to the woman who just came along and floods. It was one second it was dry and then it was all water. Man, a woman dies on the first day of Burning Man after Doom Festival gets off to it. Yeah, last year we got stuck in the mud, wasn't it? Now people are apparently dying for no reason. There was no cause of death. We got this here. This country plans to kill more than 700 animals, including elephants and hippos, to distribute them as meat because of the drought. We got mass drought going on. People are chopping up elephants for food. My God, government-backed study, speaking of that, says using psychological propaganda to get people to eat bugs. Doesn't that look yummy? Yeah. 7 people injured. We got severe turbulence going on in the skies. Forces United Airlines flight to make emergency landing. Where this happened at? Down in Memphis. Put a link to that. We also have trouble on the high seas. Check this. I had to throw this in there. Migrant dinghy crushed by Spanish police boat. All right, horny lonely dolphin, Doom in Japan. Apparently, he's attacking people. I say shout out to the dolphin. I don't know. Boeing we got problems in space. The Starliner's future is in doubt. Employees demoralized after SpaceX chosen. Yeah, they're gonna. So Boeing, U.S. government approves new nuclear reactor for the first time in 50 years with excellent chemical stability. What could go wrong? Let's blow each other up. But, you know, if we maybe use this technology for good things, I don't know, maybe we can actually make an electric car that works. Uncovered, FEMA report, 4 to 10 years without electricity. I saw this Doom article here. I just had to throw that in. Isn't that nice and doomy? Overstream's been on news. Got some strange stuff going on this week. Of course, another man on mobility scooter in his 30s is stabbed to death on London Street. More people being stabbed on London. I thought we were banning the knives. What's going on here? Put a link to that. Be careful out there, guys. Not all is as it seems. You got this here. Apparently, it looks like 2 females may be in trouble. Maybe somebody's having difficulty breathing or something, and they get this guy committed to helping this girl, and then all of a sudden he gets like stabbed in the back or something. You know, use your street smarts, bro. If something don't feel right, now you stabbed. It sucks. Library workers punch and spat on. Security incidents rise. This is going on up in Canada. Apparently, who attacks someone at a library? Police in New York suburb make first arrest under new mask ban. You cannot wear masks anymore. This is because migrants are wearing masks and robbing people and stabbing people and all this stuff. You got this. It says filthy Israeli pulls gun on group in Texas. Then find. I don't know if that's the actual case. This guy does pull a gun. I don't know that he's an Israeli. I have no idea. I'm not trying to be racist or anything. I don't know what's going on here. All I know is there's a guy with a gun, and it doesn't work out good for him. Let me see in just a second here. I think what happens is he actually tries to follow these guys into the water.
He's got a gun!
Yeah.
Why do you bring a gun to a pool?
He sets it down and then I mean, come on. You're just a moron. Put a link to that. Ohio woman horrifies neighbors by killing and eating a cat. What is the matter with you? Put a link to that. RFK, did you see his family's throwing him under the bus after he came out for Trump? Listen to a little bit of what they're saying about him.
Personally, I completely disavow and separate and disassociate myself from my brother, Bobby Kennedy, and his flagrant and inexplicable effort to desecrate and trample and set fire to Daddy's memory.
Wow.
I love Bobby.
Meanwhile, RFK Jr.'s daughter says Dad cut a whale's head off and drove it 5 hours home. This is strange as it gets. Aspiring Democratic lawmaker claimed he was a victim of hate speech revealed to be 4 accounts that were trolling him. Apparently, this man was trolling him. You don't know nothing about Let me tell you something. I survived the troll wars of 2010. You're a failed troll all day long. Put a link to that. A couple more here. We got technology getting a little... What? Could someone explain to me what's happening here? I mean, the person's got fingernails like a girl, so I don't know. I have no... Is there something... I don't know what's going on there, but you will live to see man-made horrors behind your Look at this. I'm not even going to read that out loud. This is what people are doing to themselves. This is a real thing. I thought this was satire. I looked this guy up. Do not go look his Twitter up. It's going to be, wow. And I got one at the bottom. Let's escape all this. Maybe nothing's real. We got this thing here. The CIA has a step-by-step manual on astral projection and remote viewing. She goes on to talk about how nothing is solid and there is no matter and everything is energy, which is true. But this video here will make you think.
Allowed these men to remote view, psychically spy at any time period.
I know, you're like, what is this girl?
The document also reveals that
I would recommend watching it. It's actually a pretty decent. She brings up some good points. Other news. Check my favorites. Worker died at Wells Fargo. 4 days in her cubicle without anyone noticing. Sad story there. New video of Pelosi. We got more Pelosi rambling in the backseat. That's pretty funny, actually. 2 killed, 1 injured during incident at Delta. I think somebody else got sucked into a plane engine, maybe. How does this keep happening? Unhinged mayor. That's a good one. You got to check that one out. Israel launches preemptive strike. Check my favorites for updated news always. And thank you to people still posting content. Keeping everyone informed. You guys doing awesome work. And shout outs this week. It's not so much a shout out as it is a rest in peace. And it's a sad story in the poured on, but I had to say something. Much love, and it goes out to this family that lost 6 cats were lost because a Tesla exploded in the garage. Let me see if I can get a little bit of this play.
Mourning the loss of their first home after their Tesla caught fire in the garage Sunday.
I woke up and all of a sudden I'm running for my life, you know, and then I was, I remember that time I was praying for the fire truck to come because we still have so many pets inside.
But the greatest loss were their 6 cats who died inside.
So they're all siblings, all from the same mom.
I had to give a rest in peace to those cats, and it's another reason why I will not install electric vehicle chargers in people's homes, because I don't think they're safe. I won't put my name on that. If you've got one of these electric cars, man, be advised you have a lithium-ion bomb in your garage. That's all I got for this week, though. Sorry to end it on a sad note, but I had to say something about those cats. If you like the report, please give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I think it sucked. It's the worst you've ever seen. You never want to see again. Please rate. It helps me move around. You can also follow me on all my links below. The TwitchShoot, the Bitter, the Gab. Man, I'm tired, man. It's been a long, hot week in the St. Louis sun. I am so ready for the fall. You can support me on Patreon or directly with DonorBox. I put a lot into these reports. I'm getting this one done kind of late. It'll be up kind of late. I don't know. Are we going to see October surprise? I guess Sheriff Max calling forward. It's not the first time we've heard this stuff, though. Like I said, take it with a grain of salt. Jericho, September attacks. I mean, we're certainly right on the verge of World War III, as it seems we always are. You know, the COVID, the schools are closing down. You know, they're going to push to get we got the election coming up. Time's getting short, people. All the people that think that there's not going to be an election, I would look for an event in the next 60 to 90 days. You know, remain vigilant, keep your eyes open, and check your preps. Be ready to move if you need to, you know. But I'm not telling you anything you don't need to know. I love you guys very much, though. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on a Sunday while I give you the news. You guys take care, stay safe. Have a good rest of the weekend. Have a good rest of the holiday weekend. Have a good week. I love you very much. I will see you on the next one.